welcome back to Level Up Your Inner Power, the LUYIP podcast. I'm Juliette Martine.
And I'm Danielle Flood. And today we're leaning into the challenge many of us experience when we're not really sure about exactly what it is we want. Which brings us to the next C word on what seems to be an ever-expanding list of C words to help you. Our beautiful luminary listeners, level up your energy to create the life you want. We are talking about the C word of clarity and what to do when you know you're not happy and you want things to change, to improve, to be different in some way, but you're not really clear about what it is you want or how to make it happen.
So often, we know we're feeling a bit stuck or blocked or lacking in direction. Or maybe you've been struggling with issues around self-esteem or a lack of confidence, or, you might love things to improve in your relationships. Or maybe you're frustrated with the way people are treating you at work, or you just can't seem to get on top of your finances. Whatever it is that might be challenging in your life at the moment, here's the thing. When we're not clear, that word clarity, when we're not clear about what it is we truly want, if we don't have clarity in our vision as to exactly where we want to be aiming for, that's when we can stay stuck and keep going round and round in circles, repeating the old patterns with nothing really changing.
Oh, exactly. Many people I talk with kind of know that something doesn't feel right for them, and they have a general sense about what it is they're struggling with. But when I ask them what exactly is it that they want, they're not actually clear in the vision they hold for themselves and where they want to be heading. And they might say things like, I just want to be happy, or I want more money, or I want better health. But they haven't zoomed right in with any real clarity in terms of their intention.
It's very true. Sometimes the reason we're not clear about what it is we want is because we're kind of afraid to get clear within ourselves, because the moment we get that clarity energetically, it can kind of set off our own limiting beliefs. It can activate the energy of them. Mm-hmm. If we have a belief that we're not good enough or worthy of receiving the things we say we want, then we're going to stop ourselves from getting clarity in the first place. Or if we believe it's going to be really difficult for us to achieve, I know that's blocked me in the past from even putting myself out there to want the things that I want. Or if I have a story running that it's not going to happen for me, and then what am I going to be doing? If I put myself out there to want the things that I want, I'm going to be setting myself up for failure and for that horrible feeling of disappointment that none of us enjoy. Or one of the other reasons that we might block ourselves from getting clear about what it is we want in the first place is that we're fearful other people might judge us in ways that then we decide, it's not really worth putting myself out there going for the things that I want, because I'm going to, get that pushback from the people around me.
Absolutely. And, I sort of think sometimes of the things that people have said, or not even said, that I've said in my own head. It's like, oh, well, who do you think you are that you want more in your life? Or, gosh, Dan, just be grateful. I mean, other people are so worse off. Like, you should just be grateful. Or, the big one for me is like, if I shine too bright, people are going to judge me or even leave me, those feelings, which can be quite soul destroying, really.
I totally resonate with that last one. I think I have been running a story for many, many years that if I shine too bright, that as a woman, I hate to say this, but it'll be too much for a man, be too much for my partner. So I know for many years I held myself back and kept myself small and prevented myself from getting really clear to go for. We've spoken about commitment and certainty, but I've blocked myself from getting that clarity because I felt like I might be too much or it might intimidate a man. No man wants to be with a really strong, empowered woman.
Yeah, intimidation is a really big big one there. I feel that even with women, some women in my life or some environments I've worked in, just that intimidation. I might intimidate someone or the reverse, so it goes both ways.
And it's so easy for us to block ourselves from getting clear in our own energy and what it is we want in life, because it inevitably also means that things are going to change, which, by the way, is another C word. I am seeing C words everywhere to do with content and creating the things that we want in life. And we're definitely going to dive into the C word of change in future episodes, because we know that not everyone in our life will necessarily be happy with the prospect of us changing in some ways. It might also require the people around us to change in some way themselves, to be willing to see us or themselves in a different light, or to change the dance that they're doing with us and that we do with them. And our getting really clear in what it is we want for ourselves can kind of activate our own inner power and light in ways that the people we're closest to, maybe it's your partner or someone in your family or the people you work with or some of your friends, they might start to feel uncomfortable within themselves because of the ways in which they're holding themselves back. Or because they actually really like you being the way you currently are, because it kind of serves them in ways that makes their life more comfortable and a bit more convenient.
Ooh, when we get to this topic, Juliet, I have got so much to share about change and the people around me in my life. Yeah, that resonates so strongly with me about the people around you becoming uncomfortable once we get that change, once you get that clarity, the commitment, the certainty. There's like a snowball effect with the people around you, and some is good and some is very challenging to deal with.
I'm trying not to laugh. I've just got so many horror stories within my own life where people have been so resistant to me changing. Oh, my I don't know how I'm going to shove that cat back in the bag.
That could be a really big episode for us.
It could be a huge one. But like, even take the simple aspect of getting really clear about maybe wanting to level up your health and your well-being, and you decide that you want to cut out all sugar and junk foods that you've been eating to clean up your diet and stick to a more health-oriented meal plan. Sometimes we won't allow ourselves to get really specific and clear about what exactly we want for ourselves in this area, because we know that's going to upset the relationship dynamics we have with our partner or our housemates or our best friends, because, we love bonding through eating junk food and binging on the sofa watching TV together. And that's going to change the whole dynamic of how we, hang out together and spend quality time together. There's going to potentially be some pushback there if we suddenly get clear that we want to change, we want to do things differently, we want to get healthier, we want to move forward in this direction, and that means letting go of some of the habits that no longer serve us. We inherently know that might create some resistance and pushback on us with comments like, well, why would you want to do something stupid like that? Or what about me? Or, surely you can just eat chocolate tonight. Like, it doesn't have to be healthy every night. And people trying to draw us back into habits, particularly when it comes to substances or behaviors that might, touch upon addictions and things. We know that the people around us are sometimes part of the energy that keeps us stuck in those patterns.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if we're holding ourselves back from getting clear in our own energy, because deep down we're worried about the people around us and how they might react, we just need to remind ourselves that that's okay. If other people do start to react, that's okay. That's their stuff. That's their fears. That's maybe their limiting beliefs or their own excuses or self-doubts about themselves. It's not my stuff, and I don't need to take on other people's energies. That's for them to work out. And, we can do that in a way that's really loving towards ourselves, with compassion and honouring what we know is right for us. And it's also honouring the other person and the choices that they're making for themselves. We can honour ourselves and others with loving kindness and respect at the same time.
Yeah, that's so true. And it's a really great reminder, Juliet. So let's keep things really simple today. And for you listening here with us today, let's focus on just one specific aspect of what it means for you to be really clear in your energy. By focusing on helping you get really clear in what it is that you want for yourself going forward. So you can get really clear in your intent. How do you know whether or not you're really clear in your intent? Well, it's pretty easy, really. So if you're not driving, just close your eyes and ask yourself the simple question: what exactly do I want? And if you can state it clearly and strongly with absolute knowing, that is amazing. Brilliant. You are good to go, firing on all cylinders. But if you're not quite sure, if you're kind of uncertain, you're kind of umming and ahhing a bit and waffling all over the place, or the response that comes is, I don't know, or I'm not really sure, that's okay. Just know that that's an indicator that you haven't fully switched on and activated the inner power of your clarity to get really clear in the energy of your intent.
Yeah, absolutely. It's okay to not know. That's what we're here for, really. So let's talk about how we can really level up that inner power of clarity if you don't have a strong, clear knowing about what exactly it is that you want. For most people, when I ask them what it is they want, they go straight into thinking mode. I don't know if you're familiar with that, Danielle?
Absolutely.
Yep. So we go straight into our head, into our mental energy, and thinking about all the things I think I should want. But the clarity that we really want to tap into doesn't actually come from our head, because our head is the area that's filled with all of our fears and our doubts and our conditioning about what everyone else thinks we should be doing with our life. Whereas if we allow ourselves to get out of our head and to be guided by what our soul knows what's best for us, that's when we can get really clear in what will serve us best, what will fulfill us the most, what is right for us and everyone around us, what will absolutely light us up from the inside out for our highest good. So rather than going through life checking boxes and then reaching that point where you go, I've checked all the boxes, but I still don't feel happy or fulfilled, we want to connect in with your heart, because you'll hear me say this a lot of times, the heart is the seat of our soul. And to really level up and live your full potential, we need to come from our soul's guidance rather than the head.
And what you said before, Juliet, about how if we constantly are living in our head and doing and ticking all the boxes and all that sort of stuff, there are so many people that aren't happy by doing that because they're not tapping in and connecting in to what they truly want. They are being measured by what everyone else thinks they should be doing. And so many of us live that way. And we don't have to live that way, because at the end of the day, when you're on your own, all that matters is what you truly want and your happiness. And it doesn't matter about all the material things around you, all the things that are on your dossier to say, I've done this. It's like how you truly feel on the inside, and so that you are living the life that you want and no one else.
Yeah, and the life that's truly right for you. In fact, you've taken me back 20 years to when I wrote Boot Camp for the Soul. It was written from exactly that place of starting from that position where I've checked all the boxes, but I'm still not happy. It's because we're doing all the things that society or our parents or the education system tells us we should be doing, or, you know, our culture tells us we should be wanting. We're pursuing all of those things and we still feel empty at the end of the day. Whereas when we really tune into our heart space and listen to what our soul knows will nourish us from the inside out, that's when we have that much deeper level of happiness, fulfillment, meaning, contentment, and joy, like the good, juicy stuff that really turns us on and gets us excited and passionate and enthusiastic about getting out of bed in the morning and having that spark and that enlivenment and that purpose. So that's all the juicy, loo-yip stuff that we... If we can have a wish for you and for ourselves, that would be it, to really live from our soul's guidance and what our heart is telling us. So here's a really simple soul practice. Oh, say that 3 times. Simple soul practice.
Simple soul practice, simple soul practice. Oh, look, I couldn't even do it 3 times.
Here is a very simple soul practice that we can do at any time. You listening can do at any time to get really clear in your energy and really fire up the power of your clarity of intent. And again, we do a big proviso here. Make sure you're doing this when you're in a beautiful, safe, comfortable space and not driving or operating any heavy machinery. Got to be safe. So this simple practice starts with simply thinking about an area of your life you'd like to change, improve, or level up in some way. Maybe it's your health, it's a specific relationship in your life. Maybe you'd love to change an aspect of your job or your work, or you'd like to level up your finances in some way, or you'd like to get greater clarity in your purpose and direction in life. Whatever it is, just think about one area or aspect of your life and just write it down in your journal or your notebook. So you've got this one area or aspect of your life that you'd love to change, improve, or level up. And then whenever you feel ready, the second step is to simply close your eyes, take a couple of slow, deep breaths. Just helps you to get centered and anchored and drop into your awareness, get more present. And then gently bring your awareness into your heart space, into the center of your chest. If it helps, maybe bring a hand up to your heart to help you connect. And then I want you to really give yourself permission to dream. To dream without limitation. Really give yourself permission to go there. And as you think about this one area of your life that you'd like to change or improve, with your awareness in your heart space, simply ask the question in your heart space. If I had no fears, if I had no doubts, and if absolutely anything and everything was possible in this area of my life, what would I really love to be experiencing? What would really bring me joy? What would really make my heart sing? And whatever comes, don't edit it, don't judge it. Simply write it down. And once you've done that, keep leaning into it more and more and keep asking, what else would I love to be experiencing in this area of my life? If I had no fears, no doubts, there were no limits, and absolutely anything was possible, what else would I love to be experiencing? What else would bring me joy? What else would make my soul sing? It's kind of like getting a cotton wool ball and like teasing it out, like making it into a big cloud. And write it down in all its wonderful details. So to give you an example, Danielle, it might be something simple like, I want to be able to run 2 kilometers without getting out of breath.
Oh, I'd like to do that.
I'd settle for 1 kilometer. Or I'd love to improve the quality of communication between my partner and I. Or this is something that I help clients with a lot. I'd love to feel more confident in social situations or at work, or I'd love to be feeling more appreciated at work or more seen, more visible. Or maybe it's something like I want to go on an overseas holiday, or I want to write that book that's been calling me to write it for years. Or maybe I want to quit drinking alcohol, or I want to move house, or find a new housemate. Whatever it is, don't judge it, don't edit it. Simply write it down in your journal, in your notebook, in your notes app, and keep allowing more and more to come.
And I just want to say to all of you listening, it might take some time for you to get out of your head. I remember when I started doing this with you, Juliet, and it took me a little while to really get out of my head and connect into my heart space and to actually trust what was coming up for me. And the first few times that I did it, I was so in my head that I just got nothing, or I saw nothing, I didn't feel anything. And then the more and more that I did it, the more I just trusted whatever it was that came up. I just wrote it down. I kept writing things down, and sometimes they made no sense. But the more I did it, it eventually clicked in. I was able to really be open to receive it. So when we say don't judge it, don't judge it and don't edit it, and just trust and believe that whatever comes up is for you. And the more you do it, it will click and it will get easier and easier each time.
Yeah, and I just want to add one thing there that's such a good reminder, Danielle, is that, when we're used to operating from our head, and we are living in a very head-driven society, let's face it.
We are.
When we're used to always, thinking, it can be really challenging to start to connect with our heart. In fact, a lot of us can be very disconnected from our heart. So that's such a great reminder to just keep practicing, keep tuning in, keep reconnecting. And it's a bit like a tap, if you've had a tap that's been turned off for a long time and then you turn it on for the first time, the stuff that comes through, I refer to this when we're looking at developing our intuition, the stuff that comes through sometimes will be a bit rusty and it's a bit like flotsam jetsam, kind of sticks and bracken and junk kind of comes through, and we dismiss it. But the key is to keep the tap turned on, to keep it in the open position. So as you said, don't judge it, don't edit it, just write down whatever comes.
Yeah.
Great advice, Danielle.
And once you've kept leaning into your heart space and writing down everything that comes to you, the next step in the process is to then take whatever you've received and transform it into a really strong, clear statement of intent by using what we refer to as the 3 Ps. You want to write it down as strong and as clear. This statement needs to be a really strong, clear statement of intent that's written in the first person, so using the word I, then in the positive tense, so focusing on what it is you want rather than what it is you don't want or are wanting to avoid. And then the third P is it needs to be written in the present tense, so using the word now as if it's happening right here in the present moment. That is the now, because that's the place in which we shift our reality, in the here and now. And if we write it in the future tense of what we want to happen in the future, then we're not really embodying the energy of it and anchoring it in as being true for us right here, right now, in this moment in which we're creating our reality from.
When I'm working with clients doing manifestation coaching, I always find it's really helpful to state our statement of intent with the words, to start it with the words, I am now. For example, maybe when we were starting this exercise, your focus was in the area of your health, and what came to you when you tuned into your heart space was that you'd love to improve your level of fitness, to be able to run that 2 kilometers. So you might transform all of that information that came to you, that guidance through your heart, to write it down in a strong, clear statement of intent that's something like, I am now easily running 2 kilometers every week. Or if you're an extreme marathon runner, 2 kilometers every day. Like I said, I'd settle for the 1 kilometer every week. And you might expand on that. I'm now easily running 2 kilometers with strong muscles and feeling great at the end of it every other day. So bringing in a bit more details, stating it with the 3 Ps. Or maybe you were focusing on your job and what came into your heart space was that you'd really love to find a new job. So you could transform those desires into a strong, clear statement of intent, such as, I'm now working in an incredible new job that I absolutely love, with people who respect me, that's well paid, and I love getting up every morning going to work. Or Maybe you want to shift and change the energy in your relationship with your partner. So it might be something really practical. I am now going on regular date nights with my partner, and we are feeling so much more deeply connected and closer in the way we communicate with each other. And every day we feel more and more in love with each other. So we really want to focus on it being I am now. And if part of your dreaming into your heart space was to do with things that you don't want, like, I don't want to be struggling financially anymore, then that's okay. What we want to do is take the things that we don't want and we want to transform them, to use them as kind of like a point of contrast, to transform them into the things that we do want. So if I don't want to be struggling financially anymore, you can ask yourself, what is it that I do want? I want to be now financially free. So we could create a positive statement of intent around finances, like I am now financially free and opening to receiving more and more financial abundance in all its forms every day with absolute ease and passion and joy.
And for me, as you're saying that, for me, I'm thinking about my current situation because I am currently doing an 8-week challenge. And so I'm doing it with awesome people from the gym. And I've had to set a really strong, clear statement of intent. And so I've set one for myself that is, I am now stronger, fitter, and healthier than I've ever been before, with improved muscle definition. I'm lifting heavier weights and my cardio fitness is stronger than it's ever been. And that for me, I have to really focus on that every day because some days I get knocked, right? So, but if I go back to my statement of intent, it puts me back on course and I can actually visualize myself at the end of this 8 weeks challenge with all of those things that I've set out. I'll be healthier, I'm fitter, I've got more muscle definition, I'm lifting heavier weights, my cardio has improved because I'm not dying by the end of a cardio session. So I can already see that happening for me. So those are really awesome examples and they're actually really powerful. And even when you say it out aloud or even when you write them down, it just shifts the energy within you, which I love. And so that's why I'm really big on those I am now statements because they carry so much power in them, more so than what we even think.
Yeah, they really switch on our energy and activate the energy within us, activate our inner power of intent and move us in the direction. So it's kind of like gets you up and going.
Yeah, it really does. So this week, we've got another soul challenge for you, beautiful people. This week, we really want to invite you to get clear about what it is you're intending for yourself going forward. We really invite you to adopt the Luyup attitude to level up your inner power of intent and really give yourself permission to be bold, to get specific on what it is you really want to experience in your life.
I'm excited. Be bold, be brave, be bountiful, and really give yourself permission to go for it. I get so excited about these things because when we're absolutely clear about what we want without being controlling about it, which funnily enough is another C word and we will get to, control. But when we're really clear about what we want, that's when we activate the power within us to get us moving forward in life. And that's when the universal laws of attraction respond with like clarity to bring forth the things our soul desires into our reality. Because if we are dreaming it, it's because our soul has planted that seed within us and we are totally capable of experiencing it. We just need to give ourselves permission to get clear.
1000%. So if you've been stuck, confused, or unclear, please use this episode as your moment to recalibrate. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to start by getting clear on your intent and what will truly light you up from the inside out.
So would it be okay, Danielle, if we had a quick clarity activation mantra that we could all use throughout the coming week? Maybe that might be helpful.
Yeah, let me check. Do I like a mantra? I absolutely love mantras. So yes, that's a big yes from me.
Big yes. All right. Let's create a clarity activation mantra for ourselves to use this week in the week ahead. And for any time that we're working with our statement of intent. I am clear in my intent. I am aligned with what I love. And I am now ready to receive the things I desire with power, purpose, and joy.
Oof.
I'm going to say that again. I am clear in my intent. I am aligned with what I love, and I am now ready to receive the things I desire with power, purpose, and joy. Really feel it. Really claim it. And I invite you listening to really anchor it in your body and know that the more you own the clarity of your intent, the more powerful you become and the more life will respond with equal clarity in what you're attracting into your life. So I hope you found that helpful. That's it from me this week.
And before we close out this episode, I just want to say a huge thank you for all the love and beautiful feedback we've been receiving. It's honestly blown us away. Every message, every share, every moment you've taken to tune in and reflect means the world to us. And that's exactly why we launched this podcast, this Level Up Your Inner Power podcast. I've also had people that have reached out and said, I've listened to your podcast. I've got a little bit emotional when I've been listening to the episode or something's stirred up in me. Mm-hmm. And I just want to say that stirring, that emotion that's rising to the surface, it's not random. It's a sign and it's your energy wanting to move. It's the part of you that's ready to level up and maybe hasn't known how. And when something hits you like that, when you feel seen, cracked open, or like something deep inside is waking up, don't ignore it. That's the moment you lean in. And that's the moment you ask, what do I actually want my life to look like? And what needs to change? Because that's exactly what these conversations are for. They're not just for inspiration. They are for activation.
So true.
And we keep it real because the truth is so many of us are walking around with the same fears, the same doubts, the same patterns that hold us back. But together we can break through. Together we can take the next step and the next step and the next step. One shift at a time, one moment of honesty at the time, one episode at a time. So thank you so much for being here, for helping us share with you our soul family. And if you love this episode, please subscribe, share it with someone you love, and let us know what landed most with you. Until next time, stay clear, stay committed, and keep leveling up your inner power because there's so much more to you that you're yet to discover and you're way more powerful than what you realize.